The captain of the ship might be out for the trip. Bruno Fernandes is a doubt for Monday's trip to Crystal Palace. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb. Here is the press conference reaction after Eric Ten Hag spoke to the media as we do count down to another one, as we hope to put our chest for a top six finish, as we do hope to play in Europe, that is in the Europa League. Well, have you subscribed? I remind you guys, a biggest percentage, more than 80% of the people who watch our videos do not subscribe. Guys, it's very important if you subscribe, like, and share the videos for the growth of our channel. We want to go into a better space, get a better studio. We can only do it if the numbers are bigger and bigger. That's the only way we can be able to do it. But let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about this press conference where Eric Ten Hag spoke about a lot of things, including giving an update on a situation involving our captain. Bruno is finally being human. He has played literally every game. He has been fit for literally every game. And I think he's the one player who plays near all the full 90 minutes, I think, of all the games he has started. Well, Bruno, for you now, is seeming to be giving in. He's finally beginning to look like a human being because, I mean, you think about it and saying, how many minutes has this guy played for club and country without getting injured? Well, finally, Ten Hag is saying he did not train this week. He hasn't trained at all. He's hoping, because they know him is a fighter, that he might fight and still try to force his way into the team on Monday because there is a bit of time. But the latest update is that Bruno, the captain, might not be available for the Crystal Palace game. Now, it's a bad thing, but also could be a blessing in disguise in a way because he needs a rest. That is one. But also, with Mount back in training, he was seen smiling from ear to ear as he trained properly well. Perhaps it could be an opportunity for us to see what Mount can do. Perhaps give him an opportunity to start if Bruno is not there, if he's fit enough because he has been there for a few trainings. If he's fit enough to start, we see what he can do without Bruno because many of the school of thought that Mount has been blocked or hindered. His development will be affected a lot by the presence of Bruno. Now that we know that Bruno could be sold in the summer, Mount might be perhaps he's new in the team, he's young, maybe he deserves the chance. It could be an opportunity for us to see what Mount can give us if Bruno is there. But also, you want to look at what United can give without Bruno in the team. Honestly, what is United without Bruno? Very important. The other update is that Anthony Martial to return to training, and Eric Ten Hag said he trained very well, smiling as well. So it could be again another advantage because I mean with Rasmus Højlund, we've been struggling when he's not there. He's been the only guy trying to get the goals. When he's not there, we struggle to find ways of getting goals. But if Martial is back to try and give him that little, backup in the few remaining games, it could be an advantage for in terms of depth off the bench to come in and add to our attack. So Martial is back training. Scott McTominay isn't there. He did not train. Eric Ten Hag is hoping he could be back on Saturday for training to try and assess him and see whether he will be available for the Monday game. So Scott too did not train. Now Ten Hag also spoke about Marcus Rashford, and here's what I read in Eric Ten Hag's statements about Marcus Rashford. He did not mention what injury Rashford has. He says after Coventry he has not trained. His facial expressions and body language show you that maybe Rashford, they also are not sure that he's injured. They also don't believe that he's injured. This is, for me, what I read. I feel like it's probably a period of rest. I think they wanted to make it look like he's injured, but they're just giving him time off to rest from all the pressures that he's getting from the fans, from everywhere, from the media, the attention and all, but also to try and get his head right to try and focus on playing football again. But from Eric Ten Hag's statements, it's not exactly convincing that Marcus Rashford is really injured. That's for me. That's my honest opinion, and I trust that I know how to interpret non-verbal cues. You don't need to talk for me to know what you're saying. Your face can tell me what you're saying. Eric Ten Hag's face did not seem to look convinced that Marcus Rashford is really injured, and it sold him out for me. For you, you can assess it your way. Now, Ten Hag also spoke about lots of things. Of course, about the top four and of course the top six, because top four is done now. We can't finish in the top four. But playing in Europe, we've got 2 entry points. We can win the FA Cup and go directly because the win of the FA Cup goes directly into the Europa League. But you can also go through finishing among the top 6 in the in the Premier League. So he has a lot of hope that we can still make it, though it's extremely difficult. So I think that is a good thing. You spoke about the planning as well for the upcoming summer, saying that they have got to plan early. They had the plan in place, but with Jason Wilcox now, they meet every day. They're trying to align the plan they had to him, because he's the guy now in charge of the recruitment and all. So he feels things are moving in the right direction. As it looks for me, I feel like Erik ten Hag has been every day. He looks like he's beginning now to pick up his confidence. He's either has accepted his fate, or he's growing in confidence that Ineos are trusting him and he will be staying at the club for the greater good. He laughed about the speculations that link United to so many players, saying every summer United is linked to 200 players, saying it's crap. What media is saying that all players, there will be an overhaul of the squad. I think for me, honestly, in all fairness, it's this what is a manager is supposed to say. I mean, he is supposed to look like he's backing his players, but the reality is, even before it was reported or said, it was clear that to everyone who knows a little bit about football, that this United squad has needed an overhaul for so long. So I think there is no way for Erik ten Hag to deny that. But so that's a bit of a small idea of what went on in the press conference and the stuff Erik ten Hag spoke about. But you look at that and say we're traveling to Crystal Palace, an important game, because first of all, it is important for us to win that game. It's away from home, but we must win it for us to put our chances of finishing among the six up, because if we don't finish among the six, I think it's harder for United to be in the top six than it will be for Manchester United to beat Man City in the FA Cup. Whereas my prediction is that United will win the FA Cup. I think it's harder. It will be harder than finishing in the top six. So I think the Crystal Palace trip is so important. But bear in mind that Crystal Palace beat Manchester United by a goal to nil in the reverse fixture. We are beaten in the reverse fixture. They beat us at home by a goal to nil. So very important that we go there with a whole different mentality. Now, with Bruno expected out probably, is there what then do we do? Do we bring Mount in as a starter? Do we then give a chance to Amad Diallo? Because if there is no Marcus Rashford and no Bruno, does Ahmad then come in as a starter? Is this the time for Ahmad Diallo to come in as a starter, or is Erik ten Hag still going to have Anthony, who played very well? Nothing against Anthony no more. I think he played very well to warrant a start in the next game if he's been training well. So is Anthony going to be starting with Garnacho? Then who is going to be playing 10? Will it then be because Ahmad can play 10? Is he going to trust Ahmad, or will he rather drop there Anthony? Again, Erik ten Hag and the injuries and the issues he's getting. I think we'll talk more about that perhaps on Sunday in the preview after confirmation whether he will be there or not. But I'm trying already to think what are the options in that number 10 position, because Casemiro is playing centre back. Evans is likely to return. He returned training. So if Evans returns and is available to play centre back with Harry Maguire, then Casemiro goes back in the middle as the 6. Then you've got Christian Eriksen. Eriksen can play 10, but he played it long ago. I think it's been a while since he played it. Is he then going to trust Casemiro in the middle, push Kobe, may advance him a bit, and maybe play Kobe as 10 in Bruno's position? I think the absence of Bruno could be an opportunity for us to try out so many new things that could actually end up exciting for Manchester United. So I don't feel extremely worried about Bruno's absence. I look at it more as an opportunity for Erik ten Hag to try out certain other players in those positions, because I still insist Kobe can make a good number 10. By the way, Kobe and Bruno's goals were nominated for goal of the month. Kobe's goal against which team was it that he scored a beautiful goal against? My memory is skipping me. But Kobe and Bruno's goals were nominated for goals of the month, which I think even the Sheffield goal that Bruno scored. So beautiful stuff there for United players for best goals of April. But the absence of Bruno might be an opportunity for us to try out something exciting, especially if we can have Casemiro back in the middle. Johnny Evans goes in his centre back with Harry Maguire. Then we see what we do with Eriksen and Kobe. One of them must then play as a number 10. Who could that be? Is it Kobe or Eriksen? It can be Eriksen because he has played there before. Actually, I think Eriksen is more dangerous again as a number 10 than he will be as a deeper player because he has proven that before when he was at his prime at Tottenham Hotspur. But also, I strongly think that Kobe needs to be tried as a number 10. This could be the opportunity, or we could see Ahmad drop back into the team because Evans might not be fit enough to come in central defense. The meaning Casemiro will stay in central defense. There will be a gap in the middle where you have Eriksen you have Kobe, and then drop Ahmad as the 10 and we see. Or we'll drop there rather Mason Mount and see what he does as a 10. But all those will be confirmed on Sunday on the preview of the match after confirming whether Bruno will be there or not. My name is Webb. This is the United Hotspot. Subscribe and I'll catch you later.